One of the most common criticisms of the Tavor is its trigger. The factory mil-spec trigger can catch a lot of new shooters off guard. It's got a long pull, it's heavy, it's not what you would expect from an AR-15, and especially not an upgraded AR-15. With the introduction of the SAR-21 into the US, we finally started to see aftermarket companies start to produce their own triggers for the Tavor. This one is a Timney trigger here that I put 400 rounds through on my personal rifle. It's been a huge upgrade from what I'm accustomed to with the Israeli original. So what I've done here is I've set up a reed force gauge that we've been measuring the trigger pull. I've done half a dozen measurements of both the Timney and my original Israeli trigger pack. The average Timney trigger pull is 4.84 pounds, whereas the average IWI trigger pull was 11.02 pounds. A few things to keep in mind with this: the setup that I have is not laboratory setup. I'm using a fairly good piece of equipment, but the rig that I'm trying to get in here to pull the trigger with is not lab certified for sure. I did have several people come to me with issues regarding their Timney triggers, like light primer strikes or unintentional double taps. I had no issues whatsoever. I understand that Timney has been changing out parts for other people, but I've put 400 rounds downrange without an issue. I don't know if I've just been exceptionally lucky, or that my unit already had upgraded parts, or if it has something to do with my original Israeli bolt carrier group. The other thing to keep in mind is that I'm using an original Israeli trigger pack, so the pulls that I'm getting from the factory pull will not be the same as the trigger that comes in the SAR-21 right now. The SAR-21 felt much better to me than my original Israeli one. The Timney feels better than both. The Timney trigger has made a huge difference in how I shoot this rifle. I'm preparing to shoot the MGM Ironman this year, and I wouldn't be taking this rifle if I was still using the factory trigger.